I've gotten a lot of questions about this. A lot of people ask me, how do I bring my dependents to France? If I come to France, can I bring my family? I have never been in a position to be able to answer that question, which is why I have never answered it. And as God will have it, I'm here to tell you how you can bring your dependents to France. The easiest routes that I know. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Loretta Zachary. If you see me for the first time, hi. If you're a returning subscriber, you're a real OG. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and let's get into it, okay? I've gotten a lot of questions about this. A lot of people ask me, how do I bring my dependents to France? If I come to France, can I bring my family? I have never been in a position to be able to answer that question, which is why I have never answered it. And as God will have it, I'm here to tell you how you can bring your dependents to France. The easiest routes that I know. Okay. Quick backstory. Those who know me know that I came here on a student visa. I was a student for a year and then I started to work. And as a student, as a French student, you are normally entitled to an APS or RIS. It's like a post study visa that you're entitled to, which I applied for and I got an approval for. I got a recipe C for with a temporary approval. Okay, the recipe C is just saying that we have seen your application and it has been approved. In the next 6 months, next 3 months, you will get your residence card, your residence permit. Okay, which I thought was the case. Well, as God we have it, it wasn't. So I was given a 6 months recipe C, which was very interesting because most people get a 3 months recipe C. They don't get 6 months recipe C, they get 3 months. I got 6 months recipe C. Unknown to me, before the expiry of my recipe C, I got a letter from the immigration office saying that my application for APS has been terminated, and so I have to exit the country, which was very devastating for me. And mind you, I didn't even get the letter until like a month or 2 months after they sent it. It's called QTF, like it's an exit. It's a letter to say if you cannot regularize the situation. So what it mine said was, oh, we've withdrawn your application for an APS, okay, due to I can't remember they said, and um, if you don't regularize your situation in 30 days, you have to exit. Mind you, I got this QTF after after it had even expired. To be honest, and there was no way I could have even explained it to anybody to tell them that, look, I honestly did not see it on time. Oh, it was a hassle. I don't want to go into it, but it was a big deal. I can say it now with smiles, and I can say it now without feeling anything. But as at that time, it was a lot. Okay, as at that time, it was a whole lot. But yeah, as God will have it, I and my husband, um, were already planning to get married, which we eventually did. So what we did was to, he had the passport talent, I would say Italian passport, one of them, he had the Italian passport. And with the Italian passport, you can either use that to regularize the situation in my case, or you apply for a visa. So now we want to get into the visa process and how to bring your family to France. Now you get my backstory, okay? If you want to bring your dependents to France, the easiest route is to go through a passport talent. A passport talent is a work visa, is a kind of work visa. It's different from a salarié, okay? Salarié is just like you'll be renewing it every year. Mind you, this was a mistake that I made. While I was working, I was entitled to apply for a salary, but a lot of people discouraged me and said that I shouldn't apply. Oh, that I may not get seats, this one, so on, so on, and an APS is a better option. But if you have a CDE, okay, which in English is called a CDI, okay, if you have a CDI, it's a permanent contract, you can apply for a salary, okay, and you get it. Don't let anybody discourage you. At least apply and let them tell you no first. Okay. So for me, I just felt okay since APS seemed like a post study visa seemed like a safer option for me. That's why I opted for a post study. Okay, that was just why. So, but if you are a working in France and you have a CDE, you can apply for a salary. It's just a that is the only disadvantage of applying for a salary is that you would have to renew it every year. Okay, it's like a yearly renewal. And if you don't have a job, it's like a work visa, like a 1 year work visa. And if you don't have a job, it means that you cannot renew it. So if you don't like your job, you may have to keep it and keep renewing it till you find a better one. So back to bringing your family to France, a passport talent. Passport talent is a highly skilled work visa. It's for people that are highly skilled, right? Like software engineers, data analysts, okay? These very highly skilled talents, okay? Wherever you are, any part of the world, they can bring you from there to the country. And if you have any family members, direct family members, not like your father and your mother, oh, direct family members like your wife, your kids, they can all come along with you. And I don't think there's a limit to the amount of children that you can bring. I've seen people bring their wife and 3 kids. I've seen a man bring his wife and 4 kids. That's the highest I've seen. I don't know if they can. I don't think there's any amount to it. And the most interesting thing about the visa is that it is not expensive. Okay, I can't remember the visa fee. I'll put it on the screen while editing so that um I'll check because it's I'll have to check what the amount is now. But it is slightly, I think it's slightly more than the tourist visa amount or the same thing, one of them. But even if there's a difference, the difference between the tourist applying for a tourist visa and the passport talent as a dependent is not like it's not much. Okay. So and the documents that they require from you for applying as a dependent on a passport talent is very very few. Like the only thing they need from you is as a dependent is like for a wife or a husband is a marriage certificate. Every other thing is from the major applicants, which is your husband or maybe your wife. Okay. So for example, your kids now, all you need from your kids are going to be the birth certificate. Every other thing is your employment letter, your employment letter, your what everything pertaining to your employment, maybe your situation in your country. And they don't ask for bank statements. That's the most interesting part of having a passport talent. They don't ask you for your bank statement, so nobody's going to say you have to have a particular amount of money in your accounts before you can have a passport talent. The only thing that they require from you to get a Italian passport, as far as I know, is to have the skill and have a job. Okay, have a CDE. In fact, you cannot apply for a passport talent if you don't have a CDE. As far as I know, if I'm wrong, please put in the comment section. Okay, so you cannot apply for a passport talent if you don't have a CDE. So um most of the documents they need is from the primary applicant, which is either your husband or your wife. For your children, they're going to need maybe their birth certificate. Every other thing is from you. Okay, it's not like student visa or tourist visa where you have like a whole lot of things to submit. For a passport talent, all you need is documents from the primary applicants. Whether they you can either apply together or the primary applicant applies first and subsequently adds their dependents. Okay, the major criteria is apart from being skilled, is that the documents are legit. They are not forged. Okay, they are not forged. It's not a complicated situation. So if you are married, you have a marriage certificate to show that you are married. If you have kids, you have a birth certificate to show that these people are my kids. And maybe they won't ask for bank statements. Usually they don't ask for that bank statement. Okay. So another thing about a passport talent is that apart from being highly skilled, to get a passport talent, you have to be earning, last I checked, more than 46,000 euros per year. So the primary applicant must be earning more than 46,000 euros per year. I think that is with tax. Okay, not after tax, with tax. Okay. I think the next thing that you may be wondering is, where can you find like this kind of jobs? First of all, you need to update your LinkedIn profile to probably reflect France and or Paris, reflects somewhere in France, you know. Then you need to start applying for jobs on LinkedIn that you know qualify for a passport talent. So you have to look at the salary threshold. If it is written in the description, you have to make sure that it is above what you need for a passport talent. Because even if you're highly skilled and they are paying you less than what is required for a passport talent, you are not going to get it. You get. So you have to make sure that the jobs you're applying for are within that salary threshold, above, rather above that salary threshold from 46,000 upwards, okay? Which are very, very rare in France, because most people are earning minimum wage here. But it is doable as long as you have the skill, okay? Websites that you can use: LinkedIn, Indeed, and Welcome to the Jungle. Okay, LinkedIn, Indeed, and Welcome to the Jungle. I'll write them in the description box for you guys, so that, especially Welcome to the Jungle, because LinkedIn and Indeed, yes, but Welcome to the Jungle is, there are a lot of French jobs in Welcome to the Jungle. So you can also check Welcome to the Jungle. In case I haven't mentioned, there are two types of talent passport. There's normal talent passport and there's talent passport salarié. So talent passport salarié is the one that's, it's for people that are schooled in France and you have a master's from in France. Okay, you have a master's from a qualified French university. You can go through talent passport salarié, and um I think the major thing for that is that you just have to have above the 46,000 euros per year. You just need to be earning more than that 46,000 euros per year. Your company does not necessarily have to be like an innovative company, just like on as under the normal talent passport route. Okay, so the normal talent passport route, the difference is that normal talent passport routes are for people that are, that may have not schooled in France. Okay, if they may have not schooled in France, we can be in any part of the world, but they have the skill that's required, and the company is an innovative company. Maybe they are into crypto, they are into high tech, those kind of things. Okay, they are into cloud engineering, whatever. Just these very high tech and innovative companies are the ones that you can use to apply for a talent passport outside of France. But if you have a French degree, I think it's a master's. I'm not sure if it's a BSc. You would have to check that. I know that for a master's it works. I don't know about a BSc. But if you have a master's in France, you don't necessarily need a talent passport. You can do talent passport salary as long as you are earning above that 46,000 euros threshold. Is that, hope that's clear? So another thing I wanted to say is that another route that you can use to bring your family to France is, so there are different types of talent passport apparently. If you're going to be doing a PhD in France, you are entitled to a talent passport, depending on the kind of PhD, and I think also depending on the research work that your PhD is under. From the research that I did, but obviously always double check these things, because I did this research like maybe late 2023, 2024. So please double check these things that I'm telling you, so you know you are up to date. Okay, so if you have a PhD, if you get a PhD in France, and your research topic is under a very innovative research topic, okay, you are entitled to a talent passport. Okay, you're entitled to Italian passport. So, for example, you get a PhD from Nigeria. Let's use Nigeria because that's where I'm from. You get a PhD from Nigeria and you want to bring your family with you. You cannot do the job route. You want to do the PhD route. Okay. Bear in mind that I don't think they earn as much as that 46,000. They don't earn as much as 40,000 euros per year. I don't think it's up to. I think it's about 30 something. But like I said, double check. Okay. But with a PhD, you can bring a your family to France. So the routes that are not necessarily applicable are like masters, BSc, and just ordinary jobs. Like if you're a salarié, like you have to that's work visa that you have to renew every year. Those are the routes that are not applicable for bringing your family to France. Every other one that I've mentioned, the PhD routes, the time passport salarié, and the normal talent passports. See, I keep mixing it up. Talent passport, passport talent is one of them, but it's the same thing. So if you see passport talent on the website and not talent passports, don't get it twisted. Okay, it's the same thing. Yeah. So any of these routes can qualify you for Italian passport, and so you can bring your family to France. I really hope that I have answered most of your questions because this question was asked to me, has been asked to me a lot of times, and I didn't have the answer. And glory be to God. Glory be to God. I'm I'm currently a dependent in France. Okay, I'm under my husband's passport talents. Okay, so I'm also speaking from experience. I'm not speaking, I don't like to come here and say things that I've not experienced or I'm not sure about. That's the reason why I'm a little reluctant to share some information if I have not had like first hand like contact or experience with it. With that, I hope I have helped you in some way, and I'm very interested to know what your questions are so that if there are very important questions that need to be answered and there's need for a part two, I will be more than happy and more than willing to do a part two for you. But first of all, put your comments in the comment section. Okay, tell me if this has helped you and tell me if you're dependent in France just like me. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, take care.